I mean 10 lives. I don't think it actually counts lives above 9. I think lives stop showing up in levels when you have 9, and I don't think they let you buy anymore from the merchant either. There is an inside the lamp level, obviously. Even though this never happens in the movie, I do approve of having an inside the lamp level in both versions of Aladdin. I don't remember if there was a Game Boy version of this. I might have to look into that. I was so busy fighting the console wars, SNES versus Genesis, that I might have just passed up Game Boy Aladdin, if it's even a thing. Lots of blind jumps in this level. If you don't know how... Like, if you don't know the proper way for Aladdin to kind of maneuver his camera around... Like, if you gotta tap left or right to get the camera to kind of lurch in that direction a little bit. If you don't know how to do that, there's just a lot of blind jumps that don't make any sense. This part, I remember dying to a lot as a kid. You've got to bounce on this head enough time for the hands to show up. And then you got to hope that there are actually hands that you can stand on as you jump straight up. Don't try to jump side to side. You will die there. Remember, Aladdin's not an acrobat in this game. He doesn't have his cool slow fall rug that he gets in the SNES version. That really makes gameplay feel more exciting. And then there's these balloons, and this is another reason that I suspect that, like, one of these games was stealing ideas from another one, because these balloons are pretty much the same as the balloons in the Genie's Lamp in the SNES version, except they're a lot harder to grab onto, because only part of Aladdin's actual hitbox will trigger him grabbing the balloon. I saw the merchant over there, but I don't need him. I've got 9 lives. That was kind of true in the SNES version as well. It was more true in Capcom's DuckTales games. If you had played DuckTales and tried to... Or DuckTales 2, I guess. Because DuckTales, you didn't actually grab things with your cane. DuckTales 2, you could grab onto certain background objects with your cane. Aladdin's active hitbox is his forward hand. The one that he's not holding a sword in. You have to try to aim that for the grabby part of the... Ooh, I guess I'm in the hole. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and get flushed a little bit. It happens. If you try to grab the balloon with any other part of Aladdin's overly animated character model... not model, sprite, I guess is the actual word you want to use. We have to duck here so we can see where the next platforms are. We have 2 different cycles here? Yes, we do. Okay, I know what we're doing here. No, maybe I don't. There we go, that's it. You can see some more of this dithering that passes for transparency on the edges of the genie smoke in this level. It looks god-awful every time I play a Sega Genesis game and see that fake Genesis transparency. All I can think of is Genesis does what Nintendo don't. I didn't know what transparency was as a kid, obviously. I just knew that the Genesis looked worse in some aspects than the Super Nintendo. It wasn't until I played my first game on an SNES emulator in, God, it had to have been 1997 or something. Do I need the free life? I do need the free life down here. Okay, so where can I go? Let's see. If I can lay on this head, I can just do that. Get the free life. Yeah. Final Fantasy V had just been translated to English on an illicit, illegal emulator in, I don't know, 1997, maybe 98 or so. This would have been in between Final Fantasy VII and 8's release, I think. But at the time, the emulators weren't very good, and they couldn't do transparency levels very well. And there's a dungeon very, very early in Final Fantasy V that makes heavy use of the Super Nintendo's ability to do transparency layers. Effectively alpha channels. And there's no A Whole New World level in this game, sadly. No bonus level. So that dungeon becomes unplayable if your emulator doesn't handle transparencies right. So to this day, if you look up Final Fantasy V walkthroughs, like really old ones, you'll see a lot of questions like, hey, how do I get through this dungeon? And then some answer about transparency levels and emulators and things. Like, to this day, that information is still floating around out there as though it's an inherent part of Final Fantasy V, when really it's an emulator issue, and we should not have been stealing video games anyway. I don't know any way through that part except to just tank all the damage from all of the damage sources. And I don't know any way through this part except to just swing my sword wildly and hope that by the time my carpet flies directly through Iago for some stupid reason, that my sword swing is in the correct part of the animation to hit Iago instead of vice versa. Like this time, I just kind of seem to be randomly doing a lot better. I don't remember the scene in the movie where Aladdin got spat on by a bunch of fish. Ooh, wow. Yeah, I was right inside that guy's hitbox and no part of my sword's active collision was touching him. And if you don't have any apples, this scene can be miserable. You can't even really just stand still and wait out the cycles because there's fish everywhere that spit at you. Don't kill me the same way twice. Let me get on the carpet, please. Alright. Hopefully this time I kill Iago before Iago kills me. That'd be really nice. Looks like we got him. Looks like we got him twice, actually. Okay, I guess we're just gonna go straight this time. Excuse you, why did you not die after the second hit? Even grabbing onto ropes, you kind of want to use the trick of knowing which of Aladdin's arm he can grab with and which ones he can't. Okay, I think we're good now. We just got a checkpoint, which is nice. Also, there's many Iagos. And I guess they didn't know what to do with the carpet, so they just make the carpet, like, fly around completely randomly. Like, it just takes these arbitrary paths through the levels. Like, the carpet is actively trying to hinder you in this game for no clearly defined reason. I don't actually remember what's coming up here, so I'm going to try to take it nice and careful. Oh, we're so low on apples. I don't know which way this carpet goes. Up that way. Okay, we're fine. Just gonna keep swinging. Keep on swinging, baby. Eventually carpet will go by some health, maybe. Hey, there we go. Sometimes it goes by random enemies, sometimes it goes by random health. There is a gameplay system in place where you hit an enemy's weapon that they throw, or even that they're attacking you with your sword. I want to grab this health, actually. We're going to have to do the entire carpet ride again, but the enemies don't respawn, so I think this is the safe play. Safely do this with more. I guess maybe the Iagos do respawn. You can effectively block enemy attacks with your sword, whether they throw weapons at you or are attacking you with their own sword. But this basically only happens randomly as you're spamming the button trying to hurt them. I don't think it's a very effective gameplay system. I couldn't even swear to it being an intentional gameplay system in the first place. It might have just been another aspect of, oh, we just want to make this like look a little more impressive or sound a little more impressive graphically. I want my camera to... Oh, I guess I can't make it lurch forward here. I can slice this Iago up, though. 5 more apples. 2 more apples. But I think that's okay. I think we're at the end of the level now. You have to hit this cage like 7 times to get a boo out. Yeah, we're gonna buy some more 3 lives here. I can afford to buy 2 of these. And soon here, we're going into... Oh wait, where do I need to fall here? Because the bottom of this hole is a really cheap death. Yes, you gotta hold right a little bit, otherwise you fall on those spikes over there, and it's gross. And that's a terrible way to end the level. Now, here is the horrible Iago boss fight, wherein I need to... kill these ghosts and hit these barrels, and I don't know why there are ghosts. And we gotta keep going back and forth so the apples respawn. It's just a big mess of a boss fight, and I don't know a way to not take damage. Because the ghosts kind of spawn right on top of you. They spawn at, like, pseudo-regular intervals, but... like, trying to get on this barrel in the foreground to get up to the platform where you can hit Iago is not even consistent. Okay, no barrels that time. Going back. That ghost just vanished for no reason. And, oh, I thought I died there again. I got blasted by lightning at the very end, and I thought, oh, that's it for me. But no, that was actually it for Iago. Alright, going into the final level here. And wait till you see this game's ending, guys. This game's ending is fantastic. And it looks like I skipped past a story sequence there. No, that's just, it does that. It just doesn't load either. There's a story sequence that's supposed to be there that doesn't load in properly. Or some other craziness happens. I don't know what it is, but it happens consistently in that section. Just before the final level. Which is a very garish orange. I want to stay off the floor here because there's fire everywhere. I don't have any apples. That's the problem is here. I'm trying to throw apples at nerds and I ain't got none. I had to throw them all at Iago. For some reason the fire stops in this section, like there's no more along the floor here. That seems like an oversight to me. Like why would they make the second section of the level much easier than the first section? I don't know. Also, they keep giving you gems in this level, even though I don't think there's another... Oh, I just landed right on his sword. That was kind of unfair. Some health, though. Very, very helpful. Take this health here. You can poke pickups with your sword to pick them up, too. Perhaps. Come here, you. Oh! Sometimes when you get hit, it steals all your forward momentum like that, and you just miss jumps. That almost happened to me right there. Got 7 apples and no health. Oh, I guess there is a merchant here. Never mind. I am incorrect. There's a merchant right here. I still wish that I could buy health for this scene, which is what I need. Oh, there's health over here. Never mind. I tried to jump off the carpet to get to that health, but the carpet swooped underneath me with no regard for anything but my own assistance. Get out! Thank you. I need to buy a free life again. I can buy 6 more of these. And I'm probably gonna before it's all said and done. And every 5 that I buy, I can buy another one because there's a gem there that I can get. Oh, that's right. I gotta jump off the carpet there at the end. Carpet doesn't drop me where I need to go. It drops me before where I need to go. Okay. Like, this whole section is just really mean with how many enemies there are that attack you with all these foreground objects. So the enemies are hidden, you can't really see them. That's Sega Genesis for you. And like I said, this era of gaming had a lot of games like this, these style over substance kind of games. But it seems to me that the Genesis had a lot more of them than the Super Nintendo did. I wonder if, like, the library was just that different, or if it's just a matter of, well, Nintendo had, like, Nintendo-designed games, like Mario games and Donkey Kong Country and Yoshi's Island kind of stuff, that didn't have these same issues, and that's kind of biasing my observations. Because a lot of what Nintendo does have was made by Nintendo. That didn't really go for this kind of stuff. I guess Donkey Kong Country... Well, first of all, that wasn't Nintendo. I guess that was Rare. Oh, I can't throw an apple here. And for some reason, it just bounces off his knee. Alright, this is the last rug. We got 10 apples. Going into the final boss fight here. What is the rug doing? Who can say? But we're not going to really get a good look at the final boss because we've got to stay really far away from him. We've got to chuck apples at him from off screen. And try to, like, evade his tractor beam. And eventually he'll turn into a snake monster, but again, we won't get a good look at the snake monster either. for much the same reason. Oh, okay, we took a hit there. He sucked us all the way in. I think that's snake monster time. Okay, yeah, so we're going to go over here and just jump this fire. The fire, which, by the way, is pretty much the same color as the floor, so it's very, very difficult to see when it's coming at you. And which has a much bigger hitbox than you would expect it to have. And then every 4 apples, we jump to the other side of the screen to grab 4 more miraculously regrowing apples with which to throw at the off-screen boss. Are you guys hyped for the ending of this game and how spectacular it is? Remember how the SNES version had like a really cool death animation for the boss that feels really earned after the long and grueling fight? You would think the Genesis version would have something like that, considering how important it was that everything be over-animated, but nope, that's it. Instant fade to black. No story sequence, just a moon, and roll some credits. And that's the end of Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. So, when I was a young kid, I had a copy of Aladdin for the Super Nintendo, and I had a friend who was a few blocks from my house, and he had a copy of Aladdin for the Sega Genesis. And we never discussed this as adults. In fact, I haven't talked to this kid since high school, maybe? Earlier than that, maybe not even since middle school. I wonder if he's dead now. Maybe he's dead. That's a terrible thought. Why did I go to that place? We never actually hashed it out. But I always knew in my heart of heart that he knew I had the better Aladdin game. Even though his Aladdin had a sword, mine had actual fun levels. And you could bounce and grab stuff. And it had an actual fun boss fight at the end, where you could actually see the boss. And you had to use your bouncy acrobatics to get that high to attack the boss, instead of just chucking apples at him from off screen. I wonder if there is a pattern by which you can defeat the boss in this game with your sword. But this game is just a very strange duality to it, where you can see all of the effort and talent that went into animating the characters specifically and drawing some of the backgrounds. They look really nice in motion or even just in stills. But then even this credit sequence, they didn't even time the credit sequence with the dramatic music. Like, the song's going to end, but the credits won't be over yet. So it'll just be some silence for a moment, and then the song will abruptly start for the last, 10 seconds of credits. And then the credits will be over, and the song will be partway through a verse, and it's just going to cut back to the intro screen. Right in the middle of the song. No artistry went into this whatsoever. Outside of, hey, apparently Walt Disney Company sent us some animation cells. Let's draw the characters to look like the animation cells. I don't actually know how much of this is true. All I know is that the Super Nintendo version of this game is really fun to play, and I highly recommend it, while the Sega Genesis version is maybe only interesting as a curiosity of what games were like during the console wars of the 1990s. I'm very happy to be on the winning side of the console wars from back in the day. I always tell people that console wars are dumb, but deep inside I am a petty and immature 10-year-old boy who wants his toys to be better than the toys that the kid has that lives a couple of blocks away. Thanks for watching. Here's the abrupt intro again. Shoutouts to Cartall for sponsoring this video, and to everybody who helped make my channel possible by supporting me on Patreon.